Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fantastic episode of The Left Wing. I am TJ Whitehead, power is taken, not given, joined as always by Somali pirate of the Caribbean extraordinaire John Cooper Paz of Counterpoint Politics. How are you doing today, my friend?
Somali Pirate of the Caribbean. That is a movie I would watch. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what the plot is, but I mean, it is funny too because we're pirates now, TJ. Like the United States of America is in the pirate business, and honestly, it's about damn time.
Yeah, make privateering great again. That is going to be the campaign slogan of the next president of the United States because it, piracy is kind of funny to me because there was a time when pirates were a genuine international concern, right? Like pirates were
Hmm.
not to be fucked around with. There were supplies that needed to get from point A to point B, passengers, cargo, crew, and you didn't know if you'd make it because a pirate could come, fuck your shit up, take everything, maybe kill you, and it was kind of terrifying. Like pirates were talked about in courts of major countries and everything, and now they're a joke. Now it's just funny. Now we can make little cute movies about them. Children dress up for them as on Halloween. And think about like I don't know, 500 years from now, people are gonna dress up as like terrorists as a joke, as to be. I mean, we kind of do now anyway, but it's not quite as cute, you know. But yeah, pirates. It's kind of an old timey thing that's coming back.
That is very funny. It would be like someone 500 years from now dressing up as like Al Qaeda for Halloween with their
Exactly.
children. Like it would be that would be absolutely insane. But it is kind of what we do with pirates, and honestly, they're funny.
They are.
But like naval everything is very interesting. Like all the laws are different. Everything like how that Russian oil tanker. I don't know if you guys have been following or whatever. Not Russian oil tanker. It was a Venezuelan oil tanker, and then it drew the Russian flag on its hull or something in order to say we're flying as a Russian vessel now. And it's like that's like a legal fucking thing. Like the flag that a boat flies is actually incredibly important. It's the only time when a flag really fucking matters. But it's very fucking important in like I know nothing about this, but I find it very interesting every time I hear about it. It makes sense because when you are on a boat, especially in the old times, you were in your own fucking world. Like there was the people who were on that boat and anyone you happen to run into on the open ocean, and that was it. That was the entirety of society. So yeah, shit had to be different.
It's still kind of that way now in a lot of ways. It's I was I'm sure you're familiar with the AMC television program Mad Men, are you not, John?
Mhm. I'm
There
in the middle of a
is
rewatch right now, TJ.
me too. Heather and I are
Oh,
going through the whole
you
season, the
should
whole
do.
show.
We should do a left wing
John, that
left wing film club series on Mad Men.
oh,
Let's do it.
I'd be so into that. And it's funny because I was going to bring it up to you a few days ago because we're on season 7 now. We've been doing this for a long time, and we're
Okay.
just now hitting the end of the show. And I have so many thoughts on what I've seen on Mad Men so far. And I thought, that would be a good left wing film club thing. But I was like, well, I don't know how recently it's. I assume you've seen the show since
I
John's.
saw it. I watched all the way through back in high school, but this is my first rewatch. Like I've seen episodes since, but yeah. So yeah, let's do that. Once I'm finished this, we'll do a left wing film club
I
on Mad Men.
where are you right now?
I'm wrapping up season one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So there's like, all right. So, in season 5 or 6 or something, Pete Campbell's mother dies at sea. And him and his brother are having this conversation about how it's actually hard to get any prosecution done because it's in the middle of the ocean. And who's actually going to handle this? I was like, oh, that's right. The ocean is kind of like that, where it's this strange no man's land. Literally, it's no land at all. But that's pretty fun. I'm on season 7 right now. And there was a scene when Don is in New York and his wife is Megan is in California and he's sitting on the balcony and they're playing this cover of Keep Me Hanging On by from the Supremes by a band called Vanilla Fudge that I don't remember at all, and it's awesome. I've been listening to the song all day long and it's fantastic. But yeah, Mad Men reminds me a lot of The Sopranos, which makes sense because Matthew Weiner, the creator of Mad Men, worked on The Sopranos. In that I somehow believe Mad Men is less than the sum of its parts. Like I like individual episodes more than I like the entire thing, but I really love the individual quips and episodes and everything.
I think I kind of agree with that in general. But I want to get to. We already have some good comments here. Speaking of Mad Men, Colby said John loves his work so much he comes home and watches his job from 60 years ago. Dude, I can't tell you how wild of an experience it is to have watched Mad Men as a teenager, and now having Don Draper's literal job title, it's wild. It is absolutely wild. It is very interesting to do. I highly recommend, if there's a prestige series of television that happens to be in your career, I highly recommend watching it. And then Gerald Bryson, who I haven't seen you
Nope.
comment before, so thank you, new commenter. But he said, "What's the first thing that made you left?" And TJ, I absolutely love this question. In fact, it's wild to me that Gerald asked this question, because we've been talking about wanting to do a production meeting, making some changes to the show in the coming year. One of the things I want to focus on is this question. Like, I want to ask this question to every guest. I want to bring in guests that are from different areas and ask them how they got involved in left-wing politics, because I find it to be very interesting. I find that people who come from different areas have different styles of left-wing politics, and I think it can help inform us on how to communicate with, random, normal, everyday people who come from different walks of life than us. I think we've talked about this on the show before, but honestly, I don't even remember what your answer to this question is. Mine is, I actually got in. I mean, I was always left-leaning when I don't know what it was, Bush Gore or Bush Kerry or whatever. I asked my mom, "So mom, what's the difference between Democrats and Republicans?" And she told me, Democrats like to change things and try new things, and conservatives tend to like things the way they are. And to this day, not that my mom is some like poli-sci, expert or whatever, but it is maybe one of the best explain it like I'm five explanations of political realities that I've ever seen. And that's what kind of was like, oh, well, I want to be a Democrat then. Made sense to me. Never really changed that position, just changed my view of what the Democrats were. And then really, like, econ is what made me move farther left. Like, I remember reading Freakonomics and getting really interested in economics and learning about and after that, like, watching all these different economics YouTube channels. And a lot of them were, hey, all of these progressive, interesting policies that I really like universal healthcare being an obvious one, but open borders is another one, about how having open borders would add trillions and trillions of dollars to the world economy, all of these sorts of things. I got into the left through economics, is essentially how I did. And then, doing this just exposes you to absolutely everything else as well. But I wasn't really a big activism guy. I mean, I did some canvassing and whatnot for like Democrats and my local people, but I wasn't like a big left-wing activist sort of guy. How about you, TJ?
Yeah, so I love this question as well. When I haven't done like a lot of online stuff in the last, I don't know, 5, 6 months, I just haven't had the time, my schedule, and everything. Even this show, I miss all the time. But one thing that I asked when I was doing my individual show interviews, I always was sure to ask the question, "What radicalized you?" Because the stories are always great. It's always or depressing, depending on how you look at it. But for me, it's a little complex because I grew up strongly conservative, or at least, a healthy conservative. I was never a super far right radical, but I think my first forays into the left was while I was still on the right, and I was just trying to argue for policies that made sense. I remember having a discussion with a church group or college Christians I was talking with, and we were trying to talk about why gay marriage was wrong. And I could not find a reason to say gay marriage was wrong other than our church and our religion disagrees with it. The best I could find, like the best, I remember like when I reported or read my answer or whatever, that there are a lot of countries who have adopted gay marriage, and in every case, the percentage of people who got married actually went down. And even at the time, I knew that was a weak argument because I'm just axiomatically assuming that high marriage rates are a good thing. I'd have to explain that. And then later on, during the Obama administration, I think is when all the conservatism left my body. I had a huge moment noticing I had left my religion, and all of my arguments for conservatism were religious based. So when I left my religion, I kind of left that behind too. When I was in the army, I noticed that we were deployed to fight ISIS, but the United States government was also backing rebels in Syria who were like supporting ISIS. It was like a big circle. I kind of noticed that we were going on here. That so like a foreign policy conservative started falling apart. Then on a personal level, one day, this is a small story. These are the ones I like the best. One day, I accidentally parked in the wrong spot. It was in Baltimore, Maryland, and I came out like 11 o'clock at night. Car was gone. And I saw a big sign there that says, if you know, this is your car has been towed or whatever. So I had to get a cab, which was like $40 to go to the place to get to my car. You had to pay in cash. It was like $350 to get the car. Now you can only pull $200 from your ATM, meaning I had to pull, twice from the ATM, get charged both times. And there was some other fine too. I can't remember. It was like another $75. But anyway, it ended up being over $500 to get my car out. And that I remember the 75. The $75 charge if it was overnight. And I think I got there after midnight, so it was 75 extra dollars. So every day your car was there, they added $75 to the charge. And I was thinking it wasn't fun. It was pretty inconvenient having to pull out $500 I didn't plan on spending. But what if I was like a single mom with a couple of kids that I had to drive to school and I didn't have $500 just there? I'd have been screwed. That could fuck up your entire year right there. And I said, how are we letting this happen? How are we letting this, like, someone makes a small mistake where they park wrong and it destroys your month, maybe 6 months or a year. And if you were rich, it doesn't matter. If you were just moderately successful, it's fine. But that, I said, I don't know how we can defend the system. How can we say we live in the most free economic society? And I had already been left before that, but that kind of cemented it. And then Bernie Sanders. Oh, sorry, John, go ahead. I'm talking too long. Go
I
ahead.
cannot get over that the sequence of events here was you join the military and were given incredibly unethical orders and not understanding why you were doing what you were doing in this military capacity. But the thing that really radicalized you was
No, really.
time your car got towed. Honestly, TJ, 100% agree. I like because I live in an area where like towing isn't really you have to be pretty egregious to get towed here. But I went to Florida, went to this place. It was like in a shopping center. It was like a club-ish bar in a shopping center. It's dark out. I park in the shopping center parking lot, walk over to the club, get out of the club, car's gone. And there's this tiny little sign in the dark, unlit. Well, this spot you can't be in unless you're a shopper at this place. It's a completely empty fucking shopping center parking lot. And yeah, it was like a $500 total trip. I had to walk in the rain to the closest fucking ATM. It was awful. Those people, fucking towing companies, yeah, I think this should be bipartisan. Fuck them.
Yes, there's no reason it should be like a private thing doing it anyway. I don't know. Absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. It should be like state run or county run or city run or whatever, and it should be reasonable. It shouldn't be you can't let people just park wherever they want, and but yeah, the fine should be parking ticket level. It shouldn't be like 10 times parking ticket level to get your car out of impound.
Yeah, that was crazy. And also, you should do like the barnacle or the
boot thing.
It has to be moved for a reason. That should be the first go-to.
Yeah,
anyway,
the giant ones, the giant fine should be like if you're in front of a fire hydrant or something, like a safety hazard. Okay, yeah, but come on, you double park or you park in a spot that's not assigned to you. And the last one was what actually I was probably like soft Democrat liberal then. What put me solidly on the left was the Bernie Sanders campaign. That's what really turned me hard to the left. Back when was that, 2015 or so? And I learned that everything I had been taught about communism and socialism was absolute dog shit. It was all lies. It was all propaganda, and everything they taught you about. Yeah, in communism, everyone shares the same coat in the shitty apartment complex, and no one gets any food. It's insanity. And so then I started digging into the econ, like John said he did when he was 9. I did it more and more and more, and it's like, okay, yeah, I can't defend anything other than this now.
Be clear, I wasn't digging into econ when I was 9. That was later in life. 9 is when I asked my mom the difference Republicans and Democrats. It's probably a little bit younger than 9, but anyway. So TJ, you brought up two very interesting points there. One is the Bernie Sanders swing and momentum, and how everything was like, oh, everything I got taught was a lie. We've talked about this on the show before. No one leaves the right and stays parked at liberal centrist. Like, no, if you speak to anyone who has left the right, they don't leave the right and become, you know, fucking Joe Biden liberal moderate Democrats. They don't do it. They swing all the way to your Bernie Sanders wing of the party, because what they don't like about the right is it's bullshit. It's bullshit. We all say it's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. But unfortunately, a lot of people who are like, yo, guys, the Republicans are kind of bullshit, they look at the Democrats and like, these guys are bullshitters too. I'm going to stick with the bullshit I know as opposed to the bullshit I don't. But then they get exposed to actual left-wing populism. It's like, wait, these guys aren't bullshitting. These guys, they mean what they say. And that, I think, appeals to people more than any like policy, more than I don't think my open borders, econ analysis of how much it'll add to our economy is going to convince anyone. But the just or a Bernie Sanders, like, you just trust the dude. You trust the dude that he believes what he's saying. And that is so rare in politics. And that's really most of what matters. It's the same
Yeah,
reason Trump has an appeal. I believe what
yeah,
he's saying.
yeah.
Right?
At the For people who are on the right, you have a couple different flavors of it. You have, the jingoists and the U.S. America, fuck yeah, my country, right or wrong, those folks. You have the economic folks, the people who are just the little line goes right here, and that's why the poor should starve. Those type of people, and then you have a decent chunk of people who, like me, who it's kind of like a civic religion. Like you take politics very seriously. Like this is life or death stuff. Now you're rabid and insane with what you believe, but you believe it. Like it's a real thing to you. So when you become disillusioned with it, you say, okay, well maybe I was wrong about this. I'll see what the other side has to say or what someone else has to say. And then you get to the Democrat side, you're like, okay, well, this is kind of weak too. And then once again, you find something genuine. You find something like, oh, this is legitimate here. These people have been losing for 500 years and they're still saying the same thing because they just happen to be right. You just happen to be right a little too early. Like these same folks who were saying the Iraq war was garbage and they were protesting and everything. Well, turns out they were right 20 years later, but no one learns their lessons. They do the same thing. So yeah, like I can't imagine someone being a hardcore conservative leaving and becoming a centrist because that's not who you are. That person would have never been a hardcore right winger in the first place. We kind of, I always say that I was a conservative for a long time and I still think like one. It's kind of hard to settle in like gray area shit. It's very annoying because it doesn't feel true to yourself.
No, that's a great point about how you were conservative and you still think like one. I never was, but we
Mm-hmm.
do arrive at a lot of the same conclusions for a lot of the same reasons. I think for me personally, not that like my family is conservative, but like we definitely have that more like blue collar white American family culture, and so like I think I'm just exposed to it a little bit more than some other people on the left. But either way, TJ, you did bring up a good point about how in this country we have some unfair punishments for being parked in a place where you aren't supposed to be. Has anything happened like that this week that you'd like to talk about, DJ?
Oh boy. Oh man. It's I haven't been to Minnesota in quite some time, but I hear they're using federal agents to clear up traffic now. I didn't know that was something that was on their list, but what great job, ICE. Great job with your immigrant thing of stopping people who are parked incorrectly in the middle of the road. That's what you're getting paid for.
Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock, what we were referring to is the killing of her last name's good, Rachel Nay or something like that. A middle-aged white woman, suburban Minnesota white woman, who was, and again, I'm still confused. I haven't seen any actual reporting on what happened before the video clip started, but she was killed by an ICE agent, and I'm sure we'll play the video clip a little bit later here. But it was atrocious. He walks up, they surround her car, try to break in. She tries to drive away. Boom, boom, boom. 3 shots. She's dead. And there's so much to talk about here. So much to talk about. And I think the first thing I want to talk about is on Monday, Tuesday, I thought that Venezuela was feeling like a Joker moment for me, where I was just like, how the fuck? How are you making this argument that this isn't an act of war to declare supremacy over another nation after taking out their leader, demanding tribute in billions of dollars of oil and saying, we run your country now? How is that not an act of war? This is infinitely worse than that. This is TJ, I can believe that like the Trump administration is thumping its chest and like doing what it's doing, trying to close ranks and defend their own. I can believe it. The things they're saying about it are so absurd. It's like they're laughing at us. It's like they are intentionally saying the most outrageous lies. Trump's tweet said that the officer involved in this was in the hospital and looking so horrific, he's surprised he's still alive. Bro, we all watched the video of him walking around like a normal fucking person, getting in his car and leaving the scene of the fucking incident. I see you got the video pulled up. I think we should play it just in case anyone hasn't seen it. Renee Nicole Good. Thank you, Colby. I just play it. Just fucking play it, TJ, because I've watched this so many times and I cannot believe anyone has a different opinion.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking god! What the fuck? What the fuck?
All right. So, yeah, John, your immediate reaction after seeing that. Oh, I want to point out something too, real quick, that clearly marked federal agent vehicle right there. That obviously the people coming out in masks and with weapons are federal agents. I want to add that little detail right there. That it's shocking how common this has become. That literal men in masks pulling up with weapons and body armor, just walking out of Toyota Tundras like it's no big deal.
TJ, and this is there's so much. I keep saying this because I want to focus our conversation on one topic. So let's start with that. This is something that we have been saying since I started doing this shit, that if you go around menacing people, being aggressive from the jump, in mass, armed, jumping out of unmarked vehicles, you're eventually going to hit an American citizen who's going to fight back. And I want to be so crystal fucking clear here. That's not what happened. She was obviously trying to flee. We're going to put that note in a book and we're going to get to it later. But I do want to just, even if we are going to take the narrative that she attacked them, of fucking course someone was going to do this eventually. Like they act like there is zero responsibility on law enforcement to have any sort of public safety. I swear to God, I feel like the people who are talking about this have never interacted with a cop before in their entire goddamn life. Like, I'm not saying this in like oh, well, you have white privilege or whatever. I'm just like, when I get pulled over by a cop, my heart's racing. My chest is thumping. I'm not worried he's going to kill me, but it's a stressful fucking situation already. And luckily, in my life, minus one occasion, cops have generally had good bedside manner with me. And I've noticed when they do, the entire situation is better for everyone. They intentionally, there's things that they can do to stop a situation from escalating. But showing up in mass, demanding someone get out of a car immediately, not even saying, hey, what's going on here? Why are you here? Can you move over here? No, just immediately demanding, trying to rip open their door and rip her out of the vehicle. And then we're not even getting the shooting. Let's just take the narrative that she actually ran into them at face value for now before we get to that. That's going to happen. You're putting, by having these policies, Kristi Noem is up there saying he followed his training. Well, if this is the training, it's putting everyone in danger. If this is the training that they're supposed to be doing, it is horrific training because it puts everyone involved in danger. I don't understand how you can be such a bootlicker that you want law enforcement to be treating you like this. That you want to, if you happen to be parked in a car, for law enforcement to just be able to come up, rip you out of your car, and treat you like that. No, they're serving me. I'm supposed to be the one being served by them. And they treat every single person in these incidents like they're the enemy because they are being trained to do so. And that is the fucking systemic, well, one of the fucking systemic problems here.
I'd like to know exactly what the training for ICE is in this situation because in my thought process here, this doesn't seem to be their role, right? They're
I,
immigrant, right? I
don't even understand why they were dealing with this car in the first place.
Nope.
You see right before that, not the video that TJ played there, but in other videos, you see her wave another car through. It honestly looks like people are calling her like a legal observer or whatever. TJ, I'm like, I have no idea. It feels like she might have just been maybe having some sort of issue, and like it was odd. It was odd for her to be parked like that under any circumstances. She didn't seem to be boxing people. She was waving the cars through, and then they just come after her.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. And look, I'm more than willing to see that maybe she was doing some sort of protest. I don't know. I wouldn't care either way. But
it's just I assume she was because people are saying it, but I see no evidence that is the case.
And then yeah, like ICE is there for immigration and custom enforcement, right? That's their. This has nothing to do with immigration at all. This is not their bag, and they just walk up once again, not identifying themselves. Look. Maybe it said ICE on the front of their vest. I think it said it on the back. It says something like that. But that's not something you're used to seeing. They didn't have any badges. They didn't announce their names or their presence or their organization. They just walk up and say, "Out of the car, bitch!" And then I try to steel man this, John. John and I do this all the time. We try to make this as
steel manable.
They try to say, well, the guy in front thought he was going to be hit, and if you look at it. She backs up, which is odd. Like, if she was just going to run him over, why? You think that was her plan? You think her plan was, I'm going to sit here and wait for an ICE agent to show up because I know they're going to. And once those sons of bitches do, I'm flooring it. She didn't even floor it. Obviously, she was backing up so she could leave. And even if you want to think, well, the guy couldn't tell, he was a split-second decision, whatever. He was immediately ready to shoot. He shoots into the window, John. He shoots into the window. You've seen the pictures of 3 shots. We all heard it. And if you look at the image they took of the car afterward, there's 1 bullet hole through the windshield, no bullet holes anywhere else. I mean, he fired 1 into the windshield at the very corner, by the way, and then 2 into the window, meaning he had to have been on the other side of the car when he fired that shot. No, there's no, I don't think any, look, like, this has happened to cops before. I've seen this where cops,
It was a very high profile case in a shopping center.
Yes.
I just posted I made a video about this, like when it happened back in 2023, and it was an actual person who did shoplift. But like, they did the same thing. They stood in front of the car. They tried to pull her out of the vehicle. She fled because people have a fight or flight response. And when she moved towards the vehicle, they fired on her. And it's like, bitch, if you are going to say that if the vehicle moves forward, I need to shoot the person in that car, you shouldn't be in front of the fucking car. Because you're just creating a deadly missile that could hit any. If there had been a kid behind them walking down the fucking sidewalk and the car hit that kid, like, are you fucking serious?
Oh, God. I want to comment. We have a comment on Instagram. It's from Superman Todd, a friend of the show. And he writes, this incident still falls short of what the Trump administration wants. They want an incident like this to be followed by protesters in the crowd seeking vengeance immediately. Yeah. We're going to get to that, too, about the Trump administration obviously stoking this up higher and higher. Like, it will even go with what John said earlier, that Trump tweeted out that this brave federal agent is recovering in the hospital after. Actually, I don't think we showed it in the remainder of the clip here, but let's see like the great injury this guy just went through here.
Oh my fucking God!
There he goes, reholstering his gun.
What the fuck?
Not even a limp.
What the fuck did you do?
Not even a fucking limp. And to make this guy into some sort of hero or whatever, that's the grossest part, John. It's kind of like with Kyle Rittenhouse and the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, that Kyle Rittenhouse is actually, oddly enough, one of the more easily steel-manable arguments of this stuff that happens.
I can actually very solidly steel-man Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yes, right.
While still criticizing him, but I will say, in that moment, I'm like, yeah, your mistakes made. You shouldn't have brought a gun in that situation, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, no, he was acting in self-defense. 100%.
Yeah. I can easily see someone making that argument. That is different than lionizing Kyle Rittenhouse, which is what the right wing automatically did. I'm pretty sure we did a segment on the show about this. Either that or I made a video where it's Charlie Kirk, oddly enough, a Charlie Kirk segment. And Charlie Kirk was on stage and at a TP USA event, and he brought Kyle Rittenhouse on the stage to just fireworks and pyrotechnics and like this. So I was like Kyle Rittenhouse, and he was just walking out like it was like he was this. They loved it. They made an idol out of Kyle Rittenhouse, and like you can, they seem to be incapable of saying, look, I support this action, but this is bad. No, it's like, nope, I love it. I want more of it. I want to see this a lot, because there is a death wish on the American right wing. I want to get off course here, John. I'm so sorry about this, but I have to unload all this.
That's okay. It's a tough one. It's a hard one. I was really trying to like segment this, and I was like, fuck, we're just going to talk about it.
Yeah. I saw a video from a creator I'd never seen before, but she did a great thing on a live she had where she asked conservatives, hey, if you guys stay in power and get everything you want, what's the best case scenario that you think the country will look like in 10 years? Like, what do you want here? Like, what? And then they say, well, we get rid of the immigrants and have better jobs. Like, yeah, but what happens then? Like, what changes for you? What makes your life better and everything? And they don't really believe life can get better. They don't. That's a
very accurate critique.
It is like all they want is their enemies to be punished, people they dislike to be punished, people who have, oddly enough, different opinions they bitch so much about to suffer. And when that happens, it makes them happy. They don't care if they get universal health care. They don't if they get, good health care, good education. Education is for woke liberals and nerds anyway. They just want people to be punished. So when they see stuff like this, they celebrate. None of their lives are made better by this. No one, literally no one's life has been improved by this woman getting shot, but they love it anyway. And it's kind of hard to argue against an enemy like that.
And that's where like this is one of those stories where it is both huge. Like I guess I haven't like actually talked to anyone in real life. I haven't really had time to do so, but like this is one of those stories I can tell is getting national normie attention. And it's so obvious, like just watching the video, that the officers are so in the wrong. Even if we steel man it as much as we possibly can. Oh, they're already scared because like what we're terrorizing them, whatever. We'll get to that segment too. But like even if we're going to steel man them all the way, and even if we're going to say, hey, she intentionally drove into him, and the first shot was self-defense because he shot through the front of the car and technically did get touched by a moving car. Even if we're going to be that fucking charitable, he shot 2 more shots through the side of the car into her fucking skull. That's not self-defense. I swear to God, people genuinely think you can tie this through so many storylines, from this to fucking Daniel Penny to fucking Takaya Young. I believe that was the woman in the parking lot. But they genuinely believe if someone does absolutely anything that isn't 100% above board legal and not threatening the officer in any way, then that person has a right to deliver whatever violent retribution that they see fit. This is genuinely the argument that they're making, because they're not even trying to say, they're not even arguing about whether or not his life was actually in danger, because that's fucking irrelevant. All that matters to them is, she intentionally drove into him. Therefore, he has the right to shoot 3 shots point blank into her face. That's not how self-defense works. Even if we were going to really the most charitable people in the entire planet to ice, that first shot, maybe. And by the way, shooting the operator of a vehicle that is moving towards you does not defend you against the vehicle moving towards you at all slightest. In fact, it probably makes it a larger threat to your life. But even if we're just going to assume he's stupid and doesn't understand the laws of physics, the second 2 shots, when he is clearly and objectively, not a shadow of a fucking doubt, on the side of the car, into her head, indefensible. Forget if he's a law enforcement officer being held to a higher standard, indefensible in any self-defense situation. Should never happen. That's not self-defense. That's murder. You can defend yourself and still murder someone. I know that people are confused about this, but just because someone attacks you doesn't give you prima nocta fucking rights over them. It just doesn't. you can defend yourself up to the point where you are no longer in danger. Then if you do anything after that, that is fucking illegal and fucking morally horrific. And that is what happened here. Even the most charitable interpretation of events, that is what happened.
I couldn't agree more. I want to bring up the comments from two people here. The first is Trees Top, and Trees Top said they low key just want revenge. Revenge rarely materially benefits you. That's true. Revenge is a major motivator. We've said it many times.
One might say it's a dish best served cold.
It's this is the beating heart of the Trump campaign, of the the modern right wing movement, is just revenge. I mean, it goes all the way back to the Civil War. Honestly, it's no coincidence that if you look at a map of the Civil War states, they're all Trump voting states right now for the most part. This is all about aggrievement and about trying to assuage some sort of feelings of inadequacy or fear and finding a way to punish people. It's not about making anyone's lives better. We have an ally here, John, believe it or not. Someone who normally would not be on our side. We love to see this whenever someone who's on the right wing comes to the right conclusion. This is our good buddy, Ron DeSantis, who's actually defending Renee Good right here with this statement.
And we also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck and let the mob grab you out of your car and drag you through the streets. You have a right to defend yourself. And
all right. I didn't expect that from old Ron DeSantis. And of course, I'm sure you guys have figured out he's not talking about Renee Good right there. He's talking about the law in Florida they had, because it is funny that these folks, and I know hypocrisy burning doesn't matter, doesn't mean anything, but it is funny. We can talk about it. Remember, every time there's a protest of people in the streets, right-wingers gleefully talking about running them over. They cannot wait to get out there and just mow down as many people. They actually did it in, Charlottesville, Virginia a few years ago. They love this. So it is kind of funny seeing this now.
Yeah, if we're comparing Renee Good specifically, because what he said there, it makes sense. I don't even support the law he's talking about, but at least the argument he's essentially making makes sense. In this situation, that is what happened. If I'm being as charitable to that ICE officer as I possibly can be, and we now know that the officer was involved in another incident where he, again, put his arm inside a vehicle and it drove off and it dragged him, which I want to be very clear is a policy issue, that is a training issue. Officers should not be putting their arms inside of turned on fucking vehicles for this very reason. Again, this is immigration enforcement. I want to be very clear. We are not dealing with someone who is trying to apprehend a dangerous fucking criminal. This was a woman stopped on the road. There is no reason to believe she is dangerous. There is no reason to tell her to immediately leave her vehicle. There is no fucking reason to treat her as hostile. She is a normal American citizen who should be treated with respect by the law enforcement officers who serve her. But even if I'm going to say, okay, well, he genuinely believes his life in danger, he pulls out his gun, he shoots her in self-defense, okay. I'm giving you a lot of fucking charity if I'm going to believe that, because A, you are a trained officer of the law. You should not be that fucking quick of a squeeze on the trigger. And if you are, you should have never been allowed out in the field as a result of your previous trauma. You should have just not been allowed out in the field with a gun. That's obviously a failure of policing. 2, you should take less actions to escalate the danger of the situation in the first place because you are an officer of the law. And all these different arguments. But if you then, the same people who are looking that charitably on the ICE officer are looking at this woman and going, she is deranged, left-wing maniac, domestic terrorist. No investigation, no evidence. It's immediately what she is to them. And now J.D. Vance is going out there and saying she's connected to this larger left-wing terror organization that has ties with the media is helping them out. Again, there's been no investigation. There's been no evidence to any of this. And this is what they're saying about her. They're being as charitable as humanly possible to the ICE agent and given zero benefit of the doubt whatsoever to this woman who pretty clearly looks like she was parked on the road at worst and trying to flee when a group of unidentified masked men tried to grab her out of her car. If you're going to be that charitable to the ICE officer, you have to be that charitable to her. And in that situation, you have to look at them and be like, yeah, no, that was a total clusterfuck by the people we pay to protect us. And yet, here we are. They're just like, yep, ICE bad, ICE good, woman bad, in-group good, out-group bad. That's all. It's consistent, at least, TJ. At least it's consistent when you look at it that way.
It kind of. Oh, heard my voice. So the echo there was weird. It's like, oh, so it is strange to. I guess strange. It's not strange anymore. This is just what we're used to seeing right now. And you were talking about the in-group bad, out-group good, and JD Vance and Caroline Levitt saying that this is all part of a vast left-wing conspiracy when they don't know fuck all about this lady, but it benefits their group and they want to flex their muscles on this as much as they can. And what's really disturbing about seeing all this is how good they are at this. I think that after a certain time period, your morals just get to you, or just boredom of just saying, hey, I'm going to see the same shit over and over again with this. And I wanted to show this clip. I think we've talked about it before. This is your buddy, Stephen Miller. This is back. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you ever seen the clips of when he was on the school?
I forget exactly what he says here, but I've seen this clip.
Okay, so I actually hadn't seen this one before. I've seen several clips of Stephen Miller from high school, like more than I ever would have thought I would. But this is one of him talking about the Iraq War. And I want to get your opinion on this because I want to see if it differs from mine. But here we go. This is more about the performative cruelty we were talking about, if you're wondering how this fits in, folks.
To the issue of the Iraqi civilians, I think that as many of them should survive as possible, because the goal of any military conflict is to kill as few people as possible. But as for Saddam Hussein and his henchmen, I think the ideal solution would be to cut off their fingers. I don't think it's necessary to kill them entirely. We're not a barbaric people. We respect life. Therefore, torture is the way to go. Because torture people can live. Torture is a celebration of life and human dignity. We need to remember that as we enter these very dark and dangerous times in the next century. And I only hope that many of my peers and people who will be leading this country will appreciate the value and respect that torture shows towards other cultures.
Okay, John, I want to get your unpolished opinion on what you just saw, because I want to see if it's the same as mine. I just have to know. What are your thoughts?
My opinion, this is going to be a controversial.
Let's go.
That was a pretty good bit.
Oh my God, I knew it. I knew you'd say it. I knew it. Go ahead. I knew it. Go for it.
And you see, he is aware. Everyone on that bus that he's talking to is aware it's a bit. He says, torture is a celebration of life, and then laughs because it's funny. It's a funny bit. It's poking fun at, like, I would actually believe, TJ, if I didn't know that was Stephen Miller, that he was satirically making fun of U.S. torture policies in the Middle East. Like, I would believe that to my heart of hearts. Also kind of wondering why he's slurring his words on the school bus, but that's a separate issue, TJ. If you know context, I would assume that guy is, I don't know necessarily political spectrum, but anti-American government policy in Iraq and making a satirical bit about it. You know what I mean?
John, oh God, I love that so much. I was like 85% sure you would come to the same conclusion I did, and I'm so happy you did, because I've seen a lot of clips from Stephen Miller as a young man, and the number one thing I'm taken aback by is how old he looked as a 17-year-old. Like
we say this about like teenagers in like the 70s and 80s, how you look at the yearbooks and they look like fucking like middle-aged people. That was not the case in 2003. Most people,
yes,
by 2003, whatever medical advances we made, people looked normal-aged in 2003. That was not the case with Stephen Miller. He looked like a teenager in the 80s.
Wow, yeah, like he looks with hair. He looked old, right? And so that was the first thing that always shocks me. Second is, he's a better speaker at 17 than he is now. Like now when Stephen Miller talks, I can't stand it. I just can't. And it's because it sounds too phony. Like he has this look. He gets up there. His face is always like this, and he's got like this weird lisp, and he's got the spit in his mouth. I can't stand how he sounds. But what has been consistent is the turning the malevolence up to 11 and just leaning into it. And I'm watching it and it's like, okay, I've seen this more and more. He did the whole thing about how he's sick of picking up his trash when they pay janitors to pick up the
That
trash.
one, I don't know if that was a bit. Like, it was so good. It's so funny. It feels so genuine. But it's also so funny that, like, I'm like, it could be a bit. I don't know. That's the thing. He is one of the people, and this happens all the time. This is how a lot of, like, alt-right people get radicalized. It starts with bits, and they get praise for these bits. They're good bits. They're actually usually not that bad at them. But then they get praise and they escalate and they escalate and they escalate until they start to drink their own fucking Kool-Aid. They get high on their own supply and they start to believe the bit to be reality. They lose connection to why it was a bit in the first place. And that's why Stephen Miller, you can't fucking listen to him now. He's not funny anymore. He's actually decent at what he does, but like not with that level of charisma and charm. Where did that go? I don't fucking know.
Oh, gone. All gone. Yeah, I think you kind of have to jettison it if you're going to do this as a job 24/7. Like, I don't know how you could keep smiling doing it.
Well, Matt Walsh does it. Every time Matt Walsh opens his mouth, I can tell he knows it's a thing. Like, Matt Walsh, he is also a fat fascist. Don't get me wrong. Matt Walsh, you can tell when Matt Walsh is doing a bit and when he's being dead serious. Stephen Miller, he's just evil at this point, as far as I know.
He is, and I look at this face, the face of this young man right here, and I'm thinking, I always assume Stephen Miller is like an actual dyed-in-the-wool white supremacist. It doesn't matter if he believes it or not. Like, the damage is done either way. But this is a great example of how far you can get by not having morals. It's really important is that it doesn't matter if Stephen Miller actually believes this stuff or not. He was clearly doing this for the yucks back in 2003. Whether he believed it or not, and he noticed it got him attention, it got people to listen to him. There's no better feeling on earth than saying something purposely funny and making people laugh. If you can't do it, I feel sorry for you because it's great. It'll open more doors for you than you could possibly ever deserve. And he realized, oh, this bit I have of being a supervillain, this can get me a high-paying job. And into the White House. Why wouldn't I keep doing it? And I'm gonna tell my wife, do the same thing, and she'll have the same cadence and the weird voice and everything. And I look at this and it's like, man, I hate that that's real. I hate that that's the world we're living in, that instead of having a job as a comedian somewhere, he's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the White House and say this stuff and not care that it actually kills people and affects their lives. That's kind of sad. Like, I think of the trajectory that Steve Miller, I think the same thing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump could have been just a reality TV guy. He could have just been a guy that stayed in entertainment because he was born to do it. But instead, he decided to go get into power and, take us all down with him. It's just kind of sad.
That's the funny thing about the whole Trump saga is that back in 2015, I don't think he ever wanted to win. I don't think he ever wanted to be president. It's just once he got in it, he couldn't. He's too much of a narcissist. He can't let it go. And I understand that, but it's just a joke of reality that this is the timeline that we're in. Circling back to Renee Good. Whew. TJ, this I'm going to put a take out here. This is one of those, I can't be friends with you anymore if you disagree with me on this. Like, it's so egregiously bad. Just watching that video and coming to the conclusion that the ICE officer was within his rights, and not just like being like, well, I can see like what the Trump administration is saying, that they were digging a fucking car out of the snow in this fucking place that didn't have any snow on the fucking street. That they blocked, like the announcement from Noam and the post from Christie was that she blocked the ICE agents in and was obstructing them, when clearly in the video you see her waving them on, obstructing no one. Why her car was parked like that, I don't know. Kind of weird. Who fucking knows? But the point is, Trump doesn't fucking know. Christie doesn't fucking know. And they're out here saying she's a domestic terrorist and even Tom Homan. Tom motherfucking Homan. Did you see that, TJ?
No, what did he say?
Tom Homan, who is both a terrible human being, but also a career law enforcement officer, like for real, for serious. He was like, it would be irresponsible of me to speculate as to the events of this situation as they're going on right now. There's not been an investigation. We do not know what's happening. And it's completely not in line with what Kristi Noem's saying. And we know that him and Kristi butt fucking heads all the time. He is not falling in line here with the rest of the party. And I think it's because, as someone who's done this as an actual career, he understands how batshit insane what the DHS is doing here is. And he doesn't want to go down with that ship. Because let me tell you, the ship's going down. The ship, there's so much illegality going on. We are going to be learning about it for generations.
Yeah, I would be, because I was watching JD Vance. I meant to bring up a clip of JD Vance too, because we're talking about people who lean into the cruelty as a joke. JD Vance leans into the cruelty, but he doesn't. He can't pull it off and sound human. I don't know. JD Vance just sounds like really demonic whenever he starts doing it. But the illegality thing, I was listening to JD Vance talk about this incident, and he was saying that this law enforcement officer is going to have absolute immunity, I think is what he said. And I thought, oh, that's right. They're federal. Yeah, they're federal agents. There's like Minnesota can't do shit about this. There's not gonna be any court in there that's gonna oversee them. That's gonna be a federally covered operation. And I don't think the Trump administration is gonna do anything about it. I don't know if that's gonna protect him 4 years from now, though. I don't know. These guys, they act like there's gonna be no retribution for this, and maybe there won't, but I wouldn't take that chance if I were them. Who knows what the next administration is going to think, or 2 administrations from now are going to think. Everyone knows about this, that the news is going to forget it, but people will remember eventually. And yeah, I'd cross my T's and dot my I's if I were these folks, but they don't seem interested in doing that.
Yeah, and well, they're not. And that's the thing, like that's the clown show that's being run right now. In the past, America has been really good at this shit. Like us on the left, we're aware of many incidents throughout American history where law enforcement has killed American citizens, and they're usually way better at it. They usually have their I's dotted and T's crossed just a little bit more. They don't act as fucking outrageously stupidly as these ICE agents did here. Which, again, if you're going to sit here and you're going to be one of the people who are like, she's obviously a domestic terrorist, like, we're not going to come on. But if you have even a shred of honesty in you, you'll be like, yeah, the way those ICE officers acted clearly escalated the situation against a woman who we have no idea what she was doing there. She just looked like her car was parked sideways in the road. That's kind of an insane thing to do to someone. And clearly they shouldn't be doing this. And we're seeing them do it on a regular basis. Like, TJ, did you see the clip from like a month ago? Also, I believe it was in Minnesota or Milwaukee. It was one of the two. And it was an ICE agent just running a protester over in the street. And I'm like, if this, you can't say both are true. Like, you just can't. Like, I mean, you can just be a dishonest piece of shit. But like, what we have seen from ICE agents, what they have done on numerous occasions, that incident where the ICE agent pushed that fucking Latina woman to the ground and berated her, like, all of these incidents, they are a far higher degree of violence and threat to a life than what happened here with this particular ICE agent. You can't sit here and tell me, yeah, he genuinely feared for his life, but these people didn't. It doesn't work that way. There's no fucking way. And if he did, he's a fucking pussy, TJ. That's honestly, I've been thinking about a lot about like what the line should be here. It should be that this ICE agent, and I believe we have his name now, Jonathan Ross or something like that. Something Ross.
I can't remember his name, yeah.
But he's a fucking pussy. He's a pussy. If he was genuinely afraid for his life for a little tiny bump of a car that he was standing right in front of, he's a goddamn giant pussy and doesn't deserve to carry a badge because he's just too much of a weak piece of shit to be on a job where he's carrying a gun. If he's genuinely going to claim that his life felt threatened by a car moving 3 miles an hour, grazing him on the hip, get the fuck out of here.
That is insane. That is crazy. Yeah. So I want to comment here on what Colby said. I couldn't stop this. JD Vance is probably the only baby sold for crack I wish was never returned to his mother. And I got to say that too. When you learned that JD Vance's mom sold him for drugs, I don't know. Sounds like a hell of a deal. Seeing how JD Vance turned out, I don't really blame her for that. I mean, maybe I would try to get away from JD Vance too. I don't care if I was related to it.
I'm going to her mom and asking for like fucking stock tips. Like she obviously has some Nostradamus abilities here.
Well, that's some good ass foresight right there. Yeah, challenging the manhood of these ghouls is the number one way to go, because it does. It's kind of like you know how you have toxic masculinity and there's toxic femininity too, but they're all the same thing. They all point in the same direction. In that, so like you have toxic masculinity and you've got these guys who their idea of what a strong man is someone who doesn't give a fuck about other people. That's what it is. Yeah. It's someone who is a 16-year-old boy, basically. I want to have a farm where I eat steak every day and I have 40 kids and I don't got to take care of anybody else. That's their idea of what a man is. Like that's and fuck everybody else. And then you have like the female version of that where it's the divine feminine shit or trad wife stuff that not I want to be a trad wife, which is fine. Like that's just perfectly okay. But everyone else should be too. Yeah, and there's some
major difference.
Yes, right.
Every time there's like the trad wife argument, they're like, oh, well, you're shaming people for wanting to live this lifestyle. No, I want to be very clear. They can go do whatever the fuck they want with their own personal life. It's that they want other people to live their way.
Yeah.
They want to force that fucking societal hierarchy.
Right. We want to use the power of the state to enforce my sexual kink, basically what it comes down to. It really is. It comes down to the part that I like the submissive, dominant lifestyle sexual kink. I want it to extend beyond the bedroom to every facet of my life. Fine. Who am I to tell you shouldn't do that? But when it's like, and everyone needs to do this too, or I'm going to burn the country down. I'm going to storm the Capitol if they don't agree with this. That's what it really comes down to. These folks, they're cowards. They're cowards. That's why they're freaking out. If you don't mind, John, I want to pivot. I don't know if you saw the title of the episode I had here.
So I didn't, but evergreen title in my opinion.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can't really mess with that one. And also, there's my racial animus too. That's something that I want to put out there. This also applies to these folks. So Elon Musk is a white supremacist is the title that I put on today's episode. And like as John said, evergreen title. You can always reference this to Elon Musk is always saying some, I mean, I was going to say thinly veiled, but he's dropped the veil a long time ago. He's just open and saying Nazi stuff on a daily basis. He's always retweeting or posting stuff. And he did one, I think it was yesterday or the day before. And this is the post right here where, oh, actually, this isn't the one I was thinking about. This is the one that he reposted. If white men become a minority, we will be slaughtered. Remember, if non-whites openly hate white men while white men hold a collective majority, then there will be 100 or 1,000 times more hostile and cruel when they are the majority over whites. White solidarity is the only way to survive. Elon Musk retweeted that. He also responded to this. Two options are clear. White people have a simple choice to make. 1, be conquered, enslaved, raped, and genocided while being called racist. 2, reclaim our nations, our dignities while being called racist. It's that simple. Elon Musk said, yes. I don't know why it's like, and then why it's even an open question anymore. Why people's like, oh, well, is Elon Musk racist? Is he a Nazi? It's kind of inflammatory to say that. How dare you say that he did a Nazi salute right there? The day after, Twitter has become, I know it's funny I say this, use it all the time. It's unfucking usable now. Twitter is just a den of 1488, day of the rope, just Nazi shit all over the place. I don't know why this isn't talked about more. He's the richest man in the world, one of the most powerful people who've ever existed. And I should be seeing stuff on the news every day about how this guy is an open white supremacist now. John, what are your thoughts? Why aren't we seeing this?
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons why we're not seeing this. Like, to take that question very seriously, one, it's so open and obvious that it isn't news. Like, it's just not. If I were to see a news article that says, we got it, guys, Elon Musk is a white supremacist, I'd be like, yeah, we know. And everyone who doesn't agree that he's a white supremacist would be like, fuck that, I'm not reading that. And so there's just no reason to talk about it because everyone's made up their mind already about it. And what are we gonna do? But the explicit meaning of those tweets that he reposted and agreed with was only white people are able to be the majority without slaughtering and raping people in the minority, which motherfucker.
Hilarious.
Like everyone in America, regardless of education level, can think of at least one instance where a majority white people committed atrocities against the minority population. But to make the statement that, well, fuck, if white people are in the minority, we're fucked. They're all going to kill us and rape us. Those motherfucking dark skins. Like I don't know what more of an example you need for white supremacy than white people are the only race that are able to be in the majority without committing atrocities against minorities. That is what he said. I don't know how much closer to the definition of white supremacy we can get here. Does he need to carve a fucking swastika in his forehead to get the fucking point across? Like,
no, John.
Say it verbatim to the camera. Like, by the way, I'm a white supremacist. Like, is that what he needs to do?
No, Elon doesn't need to carve a swastika into his head, John. That is ridiculous. Someone should do it for him. But I want to
help him out. YouTube comment.
Yes, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Because he's too rich. He's obviously not going to be good at
and
that.
It's
people to help him.
And it's difficult, John. I don't know if you remember this, but there was a news story back in the early Obama presidency, and a conservative woman claimed that an Obama supporter had carved a bee into her face, and the cops knew she was lying because the bee was backwards because she carved it herself. Like she looked in a mirror and carved it, so the bee was the wrong way. So that's why we need someone to do it for him, because it's hard to do it yourself. You can't notice it. But I meant to do this too. This is the guy who Elon Musk retweeted. Here's a list of a few tweets that he's made in the past couple of months. I didn't do them all because I don't want the show to be taken down. But one he wrote is January 6th. The quote is, whites need to give up their power and give it to black women. Thanks, Jews, but no.
I love the automatic assumption. Like, like when we're talking in our left wing circles and we say things that like racism we talk about.
Yeah.
And when I'm talking with like other lefts about racism, I use the actual definition of the word, but I think that's pretty dumb to use when talking to normies. Like, this is the exact opposite of that, where he's just implying that everyone agrees that Jewish people aren't white people. But that is not and to a certain extent they aren't, depending on who you ask, depending on what society you are in. But like, it's just very funny that like that tweet outside containment is hilarious.
Listen, white brother, you need to get 1,000 times more racist than you are, and I will help you because I am white and we need to sink or swim. We will rise or fall together. Black men are cool. Thanks, Jews. But no, it's a lot of anti-black, anti-Jewish sentiment on this guy's page. Shocking that Elon Musk follows someone like this. I would have never guessed that Elon Musk would be within a million miles of this type of content. But this is like Sam Harris, who I know Sam Harris is a problematic figure on the left for a lot of reasons, for a lot of good reasons, I understand. But Sam Harris had a fallout with Elon Musk a long time ago. And back during COVID is what did it actually. When I saw a video of him talking about how Sam Harris was like, well, the numbers are the numbers, but Elon Musk was just buying into absurd conspiracies. And he talked about Musk ever since then and said that, also not only Elon Musk is Elon Musk a conspiracy theorist, but the guy's a racist. The guy keeps retweeting a post from Nazi accounts. Now, look, if that happened once, right? Like this guy's a big Knicks fan, and I reposted something. It turns out he's a Nazi. Okay, that can happen, but this keeps happening. You can't keep saying he's accidentally reposting Nazi. He never accidentally reposts left-wing shit. Or someone who's like, that never happens.
Accidentally repost a Marxist, have you?
Let alone 40 times, right? This just doesn't. So it's insane that people talk about. And then Colby brings up the comment that's a great response to whenever people say that, well, white people are afraid of being in the minority because, they'll be mistreated. And then Colby says, like, well, are minorities being treated poorly or something in the United States? Yeah. What would give them that feeling that something like that could possibly happen? Yeah. Oh, John.
The same people who say racism is over, there's no racism in this country. Also, if white people were the minority, it would be horrible. It's like, how can you hold both of those beliefs at the same time? Like, how can that possibly both exist in your head? I know I shouldn't expect logical consistency from racists, but like, come on, bro.
Well, it's something I remember saying a long time ago, that when it comes to conservatives and racism, like their literal argument is that racism is not a real thing, but to the extent that it affects white men mostly. That's what it is. It's like, yeah, the only racism that real is anti-white racism, which is, by the way, I saw I don't know if I can find the comment here. It was a while back, but some guy was talking about Democrats starting the KKK. You know, one of the really low IQ. Oh, here we go. Democrats formed the KKK, not the party. Democrats, yeah. I read the KKK party platform. You can do it. You can search the actual. It was an actual political party. Read the party platform for the Ku Klux Klan and see what they said. One of the things that they say all the time, consistently going back to the 1860s or 1880s, is that the real racism is against white people. Like from the start to now, that's what white supremacists say. I don't think that that's something that you'll hear from the Democrats a lot.
Yeah,
And
I also want to just point out here, just random note here. I looked up KKK party platform. First one, Wikipedia. Totally cool. Second one, the American Presidency Project, 1924 Democratic Party platform. Good SEO work, American Presidency Project. That is really funny.
it is good. I've done a lot of videos on this topic where I actually go point by point and read the platform for the KKK. TikTok hates it when I do that. I hate being one of those guys that's like, I'm being shut down by the algorithm, but it hates it when I do that.
The algorithm might partake to it, TJ. You might want to try it again.
I might try it from a different angle, saying, hey, have we tried this? And then put up the KKK platform. Look how great this is going to be. And this is some Colby. All right, Colby, I was going to talk about this since Colby brought it up. Actually, I'm surprised you're talking about Twitter's racism and not Grok being used to make CP by its users the last week. John, have you heard about this?
It's one of those ones where it's like, I don't even want to research this. I just glance the fucking blows from the sides and didn't look into it all that much. But like, yeah, no, it's an obvious thing. It's weird that it's happening with Grok. But I mean, AI has been used for this shit forever. This is probably the first thing AI was used to do. Let's not fool ourselves.
I don't even know. I've seen on Twitter where you see posts or whatever, and people use Grok and they show a picture of just some woman, and Grok, they're like, "Hey, Grok, put her in her underwear, or put her in a bikini, or something like that." That's happening a lot on Twitter now, and I hadn't even thought about that. The fact that they could do it to kids, that thought did not even cross my mind. And then I saw some story about it that someone posted some pictures of some young girls, and then someone asked Grok, hey, can you put them in a bikini or something? And Grok did it. And they asked Grok, it's like, hey, that's not cool. You shouldn't do this. And Grok says, no, I encourage more people to post pictures of their children so we can do it. And yeah, I was just like, I can't believe this is something that I wish I could explain how I feel about this, but there needs to be a lot of guardrails on this, right? There needs to be, I am pro censorship when it comes to AI, like you would not fucking believe, because it is only going to get worse. It is only going to get worse. Any picture of you out there can be altered. Any picture of your mom, your sister, your dad, your grandma can just be, do you remember a couple years ago, there was a picture that an AI picture someone created of Taylor Swift. I remember this being a big deal on Twitter a couple years ago. It was these pictures of her being, raped or something at a football game or something like that. And it was taken down, like wiped from the internet, gone. I said, where is that now? Where is that now? And the internet has become like saturated with sexualized stuff. Like sex and gambling is everywhere now. You can't enjoy just good. I sound like such a fucking old man here, but you can't even enjoy good, wholesome content anymore. And it's only going to get worse. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe it was Colby in our comments mentioned that there was another federal shooting just now. Federated between two people in Portland shooting. The couple, a man and woman, were shot near Northeast 146th Avenue and Burnside Street and transported to local hospitals. Good, another one.
It's
can't go one day.
This is going to get worse.
Keep happening. And you know what, people, we haven't even went in this direction, but this is a test. This incident was random. This incident wasn't like, it's not like a conspiracy. It's not like they intentionally said, go out there and kill someone, but they knew that this was going to happen because we knew this was going to happen. And while they're dumb, they're not that kind of dumb. They knew this was going to happen, and they're going to use it as a pretense to increase force, which is going to increase resistance, which will be a pretense for more incidents like this. And it's just, the more they get away with it, we're just barreling towards Kristallnacht at a alarming pace, and I don't see any guardrails against it. We totally sidetracked on AI there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that was my fault. That was my fault. Sorry about that. Yeah, since we're sidetracked anyway.
No, I meant I sidetracked off of your AI sidetrack. It's okay. It's a sidetracking week, guys. I am not in my normal location. We are not prepping as much as we do normally for these shows. But I hope we're enjoying. I hope that everyone is enjoying. I need this.
I do too.
Been such a shit fucking week for the internet.
Hey, John, be prepared for 51 more. It's gonna be. I don't see.
That was week 1 of the year. Jesus Christ.
So Colby. This came from the beginning of the show. I don't even know what he's saying here. Completely unrelated to any of this. But TJ looks like after the stream ends, he's going to go put on some Oakleys and go cruise in his 2007 Corvette. I have no idea what that's in reference to.
I don't know what he's referencing either. I think it's maybe the shirt you're wearing. Just though I don't know.
Why the Oakleys in the 2000? Yeah, I don't understand. I don't get it. And then Trees Top wrote, this is about what radicalized you. Growing up in Mississippi turned me hard left. Nah, for real. The economics definitely turned me around in 10th grade. Reading Du Bois. All right. I say Du Bois, but I guess it's supposed to be Du Bois. And I hate that. But it sounds weird to say.
I agree. I am in full agreement with you here.
As a black teenager was life-changing. I had to graduate to Marx and Econ. And then he wrote, our amygdala are still overactive, TJ. We'll never heal our conservative brains. I don't think I will either. That's, I don't know. Any last thoughts on that, John?
On the radicalization?
Yeah.
No, but I did want to address Colby's other comment that he said, I'd like your guys' thoughts on what the left position should be going forward. Open carry, patrol / large armed resistance, jurisprudence made to defend against threats to law enforcement and civilians. Colby, I can't tell you there's one right answer. Like I don't know. I'm not someone who would know the right answer, nor do I even have speculation as to what it is. I do know that if I'm ever on a jury that involves a case like this, I know which way I'm going to vote no matter what. And you should too, which is obviously whatever the evidence is presented. But like there are ways within the system that we can fight already. Do we want to arm ourselves? I've thought about it. And mostly I've just come to the conclusion of I don't want to live in the world where I need that gun anyway. So I haven't done it. But Jesus fucking Christ, that might be a bad idea. I don't fucking know. This week has felt like it's rapidly accelerating, DJ. Like I know that we have weeks where it feels more rapid than other weeks, and it's always kind of just going. But like this week has felt like the shit is really hitting the fan at a rapid pace, which is utterly terrifying because both domestically and abroad, the fire is just raging.
Well, that's correct, John. I agree. And my advice might be a little different than John's, I think. Because, John, there was an episode of Mad Men where Pete Campbell's dad...
God, we're bringing this full circle, TJ.
Not Pete Campbell's dad, but his father-in-law is talking to him because at the time, Sterling Cooper, the agency where Pete Campbell works, is going to be purchased by McCann Erickson. And Pete doesn't know what they're going to do with a merger. Mergers, people get fired. It happens all the time. So his job is not safe. And the Don and Roger come to Pete and say, hey, we're going to start our own company. You want to, risk it all and come with us and everything. And Pete Campbell's father-in-law says, hey, man, you got offers from other big agencies that you can work for. You're going to risk it to go work for your old agency that may not survive 6 months. You don't know. And he says, you got to understand, Pete, there's no extra credit in going down with the ship. And I kind of am reaching that point now with the United States. And for a long time, when I started the show, when I started doing social media, I always said that the right wing is always telling us to leave. If you don't like it, you can get the fuck out whenever you want. No one's keeping you here and everything. And I was like, no, you can go to hell. This is my home. I was born here. This is my country. This is a place where I have my family, friends, and loved ones. My experiences. I've been to dozens of other countries. I've seen the world. I love it. But I will fight to make this place the best that it can possibly be. You're not chasing me anywhere. I'm not as strong on that now. I probably am not going anywhere. If I were 20 years younger, if I were a lot of you guys, I don't know if I would feel the same way. I really don't. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, him and his wife just last year moved to Germany. They says, yeah, we're out. And I don't blame them. I don't blame anybody. I don't know if this is going to be turned around anytime soon. So like, I don't know if I was like in my early 20s or whatever, and I had no, like, I wasn't married, I had no kids, nothing like anchoring me here that I had to do when I could start life somewhere. I would look at it. I would consider it.
DJ, it's like, yeah, if I was a young man, unmarried, no kids, it's like only one of those three things is not true.
No, listen. It's important to describe the hypothetical, John. Yeah, if I was a young man and married and had kids, I'd still be here. I'm not risking them along with it, So yeah. What? You don't know if I have kids, John. I don't think I've ever brought. I don't think we've ever talked about that. Yeah, I don't think we've ever talked about that.
I realized that after it came out of my mouth. I was like, oh shit, I don't know if TJ has kids actually. I know he's not married.
Yeah, so I don't know. But I mean, just leaving the country isn't an option for a lot of people. That costs a lot of money too, and that's a big risk as well. So I don't know. Like, we can wait out the storm and everything. I do think things will eventually get better. I just don't know if they'll ever get to. I'll ever get that point where I have the optimism and thought, hold on, I got to see this. I was just scrolling and I thought the guy on the bottom was Drake. Yes, we've mentioned John White Drake many times. This is the running theme of the show. But we should do a show with special guest Drake on here. Just have you
White Drake. I just go by that. Like, counterpoint
White Drake
shit name at White Drake. Boom, that's a banger.
And so we got a comment here from Lucas who says, all right, I'm going to let you guys all know one thing. The United States of America will fall, not because of some outside forces, because the people dividing it into factions that can't live together. I mean, I don't think that will cause the United States to fall. I mean, the United States has been dividing into factions for a long time. We had a literal civil war. I don't think that as bad as things are right now, it's nowhere near as bad as it was in the 1960s, let alone the 1860s. It has been a hell. Watching Mad Men has really nailed this home for me. It is something that I say a lot. The 1960s had 4 major political assassinations in 8 years? Fewer than 8 years. John F. Kennedy was in 1963. MLK was 65, and I think Robert F. Kennedy and Malcolm X were 68. So in a 5-year period, like almost every year, a major political assassination. We don't have anything like that now. Like, we don't have anything that bad in the 2020s. So, go ahead, John.
It's hard for me to speak to that because unlike TJ, I wasn't around in the 90s.
Oh boy, yeah, oh boy.
But I really interrupted you just to get that slide in. But no, I think I see what you're saying, but I think the big difference here is back in the 1960s. Yeah, there was a bunch of unrest. There was a bunch of political violence. There's more violence all across the board, and that was relative to the time, like, violence was just a larger part of American life, and it was arguably less violent than in decades before. And while you had those large-scale political assassinations and you had this wildly unfair society that was abusing people left and right and minority groups and women, whatever, it didn't feel, at least I've never heard anyone speak as though it felt close to collapse. Like, genuinely, economically, diplomatically, geopolitically, everything feels like it's close to collapse. It feels like our economy is being held up by duct tape and AI fucking bubbles. It feels like our diplomatic place in the world is rapidly shifting. It feels like economically we are being dog walked by places like China. Like, it just feels like in a way that is different than any other decade of American life, we are rapidly declining. While there's been turmoil in the past, even during the Civil War, it just still felt ascendant. Like during the war, obviously that sucked and stuff. But I don't think anyone was like, well, America's done. Again, I definitely wasn't there for that one. But like, I don't know, TJ. I feel like there is a specialness about this moment in time that doesn't apply to other periods of turmoil.
No, I knew. So with the 1960s, the murder rate went up. I at least that was in that was in my head. I went and checked, and I have the chart here for because okay, this is the murder rate in the United States from the 50s till now, I think basically. And so in the beginning of the chart, if you guys can't see it, where is it? Yeah. So over here, the murder rate in 1950 was 4.6 per 100,000. 1960, it had climbed a little bit to 5.1, but by 1966, it was 5.6. 1969, 7.3. Go ahead.
Wait a second. Where does it go down? Like what year does it go down?
1957.
No. Like further in time.
Oh, it started in 1999.
Okay, so TJ, like I'm not like going to say this is the case, but it looks conspicuously close to like the serial killer chart, where it's like, no,
oh yeah,
we didn't have more serial killers. We just detected more serial killers. Is this an actual increase in murder rate, or did all of those women who just had bad night time and passed away in their sleep, suddenly we have forensic evidence to identify them as being murdered? You know what I'm saying?
I haven't heard that. I mean, I know about the serial killer thing you're talking about. That
I'm just saying that graph looks suspiciously like that.
No, but so serial killing, exploded in the 70s and 80s and everything like that. But serial killers are always apart for like a fraction of murders. I mean, like serial killers.
What I'm saying is that like during that time, if you look at a graph like that, it looks like, oh, there's this giant spike in the 60s, 70s, 80s of serial killers. What happened? No, there wasn't a giant spike. It's just that we were able to catch more of them. We were aware of more of them. Therefore, it looks like there's more official reported cases of serial killers. And then once we got really good at forensic evidence, they plummeted in around the 2000s. I'm saying that could be the case. I'm not even like saying that is the case. I'm saying that graph causes me to instantly be suspicious of it.
I don't think so, because like I don't think the like we caught more serial killers, but they were committing more murders too. Like I don't think in the 50s that someone was hit in the head with a hatchet and they thought, "Oh, Jesus, I don't know how this happened," and then didn't classify it as a murder. At least I haven't seen anything like that. But the 60s, like they were a time where people weren't sure what was happening in the United States. Like, I mean, if the president got shot and his brother, who was a senator and attorney general, got shot within like 2 years, that would be a big deal. Like that would be even the rise of the civil rights movement. People didn't know what was going to happen. It was a terrifying moment for a lot of people. It was, I don't know, the 60s seemed to be like the most tumultuous time in recent history for me. I don't think there's one that comes even close. And that's so, I can look more into it though. But
I would say maybe the Cuban Missile Crisis being maybe
Cuban Missile Crisis,
another time. That one's for real though. Like that one, people really misjudge how close we were. When I learned how close we were to the Cuban Missile Crisis, like actually happening, and it was honestly just one guy deciding not to fucking launch a nuke, we came that close to fucking humanity ending. I have not been nearly as confident in our ability to maintain ourselves as a species ever since then, because it honestly surprises me it hasn't happened already, DJ. Like they meant to text the signal chat, but they actually texted the nuclear launch guy and they said, yeah, do it. And then boom.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going to go from here, but now we'll just have to see. This is, I want to pivot real quick because we're almost running out of showtime here. I wanted to show you this clip with JD Vance right here. Not JD Vance, I'm sorry. What's his name? Who's the Speaker of the House? Mike Johnson. And this is talking about like ending the world and stuff, because this comment that he made right here, when we got people in charge saying this shit, why not? Okay.
Does that mean we're going to go send troops into Greenland and take it over? No. I mean, they only have, what, 40, 50,000 people there. It's not, this is not a thing, okay? Did Marco say something like that? I think he did. I mean, it was over a 2-hour meeting in the Gang of Eight, and I think he did make a comment, but I think he did it with a smile. He was trying, I took that as a joke. He was trying to be humorous about it. Okay.
Yeah, it's really funny to say that we're gonna invade Greenland. Wink, nod, and then laugh about it. I don't know. I feel like when the people in power are saying stuff like that, like, "Oh, sure, we're gonna invade," but do we really mean it? Maybe it can get worse. Like maybe wars can start, and we have nothing to do to stop it, and it's just gonna collapse more and more.
Well, that's the thing, like the Greenland thing in particular. We said this on Tuesday's show. The Venezuela thing, as much as it is a really bad thing and it should be taken seriously, I don't honestly expect it to be, because who's going to come to Venezuela's aid? And as that sucks, that's terrible. But if we were to just conquer Greenland, I mean, maybe Europe just puts down. I don't know. Like that would be a situation where suddenly I'm worried that we're starting a world war with people who are formerly our allies. Like it's insane. It is such an insane thing. The fact that they're joking about, oh, he's just joking about it. I don't want my head joking about that. I don't want him doing that ever in any situation. It's kind of like when I'm like in a group of children, and I'm like, oh, I'm the adult here. I have to say responsible things, which I might not say, with my buddies. If Marco Rubio is saying that, like, whatever, he's just a dude fucking around with his buddies, sure, but he's the Secretary of State acting in his official capacity as the Secretary of State in a Gang of Eight meeting. He shouldn't be making jokes like that. It's just irresponsible, because we've seen all of the horrors that we've seen in the last, like Venezuela started as a joke, ICE started as a joke, mass deportation started as a joke, tariffs started as a joke. All of these things start canceling the elections. Trump's joking about it now. Ha ha. He's going to fucking try and do it. He's joking about running for another term in 2028. He's going to fucking try and do it. Whether he's successful or not, I don't know, but he's fucking serious. I'd like to see a joke these guys are actually joking about, TJ. I'd like them to point me to a joke that these guys made. They're like, haha, it's a joke that actually ended up being a joke and not a real fucking thing. Because it all looks fucking real to me.
It does. It does. And the one thing that we mentioned on the show about what might save us here is that there's no obvious heir to the throne. That's the only thing that's really say what, John?
It is the crux of fucking narcissistic despots that they never elect an heir.
Look,
it turns so many of them to dust.
This is I'm sure I've said this on the show before. Sorry if I have, but it is the one thing that if you read about the life of Julius Caesar, it is just a murderer's row of hits, just home run after home run. The guy he's a legitimately impressive person that every time someone writes about him, it'll be his subordinates, his superiors, his friends, his allies, his fucking enemies. They're all like, yo, this guy's got it together. All right, this dude knows what he's fucking doing. But out of all of Caesar's accomplishments, the best one he ever did was picking the right successor. That fucks up so many leaders throughout history. And what's crazy about, I can't believe I'm doing this. What's crazy about Caesar's successor, he knew when it was his nephew and adopted son, Octavian.
Yep.
He spent the summer with Octavian when Octavian was like 14. And he said, this kid's a genius. This kid's got it. This kid has there. He had like Mark Antony and Lepidus and like he had all these people around. He's like, nope, I'm going with this 9th grader. This guy knows what's up. And he nailed it. Say what?
He was right.
He was right. He nailed it. Octavian was emperor of Rome for 50 years, and he was the first emperor of Rome, and most historians say he was the best one. He was the best one. So yeah, the fact that, Trump is no Julius Caesar. But anyway, this is a good example of this. Have you ever heard of this content creator named Clavicular, John? Have you heard of this guy?
That is a name that recently popped up for me. What did he do?
Have you seen him before?
I'm seeing his face. He said something. Fuck. This is how wild this fucking week has been, TJ. Like this was part of a 24-hour news cycle. He did something really wild, and I've completely forgotten what it was.
Okay, I have 2 clips from him because the other one is wild enough, but I have to Colby, go to hell. Okay, Colby, I've had an okay. Okay.
For our podcast listeners, we'll be commenting,
Jesus.
did you meet Caesar?
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right.
Just Octavian, he wasn't around for Julius.
Just Octavian. Okay. All right. So this is a clip of Clavicular, who's he's a looks maxing influencer. He's one of these red pill or black pill guys where it's like, hey, you know, if you want to be successful, it's all about how you look and making sure you got the chiseled jaw and the abs and everything. It's the only way to succeed in life. And he's on, I think it's Michael Knowles' show. I think is who he's on. And Michael Knowles is asking him if he would vote for J.D. Vance when J.D. Vance decides to run for president.
Yeah, but I mean, like this next election cycle, who's going to win? It's going to be Gavin Newsom against JD Vance because JD Vance is subhuman and Gavin Newsom mugs.
JD Vance is subhuman?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
He's got a very short total facial width to height ratio. He's obese, very recessed side profile, whereas Newsom is like 6'3" Chad.
So JD's very tall. JD's got to be
well, still,
6'2",
I mean,
6'3".
Gavin Newsom obviously mogs him to death.
So you're a Newsom head. You prefer Newsom to the vice president.
I'm just telling you who's going to win.
Do you prefer him though?
Honestly, it's hard to say, but Newsom being that much more of a mogger and like having a president who's like fat and especially that young.
You think I don't think he's fat.
I would say
he's a bigger guy for sure.
He's just like, it's just embarrassing. Like, how are you fat and you expect to like lead a country? You can't even be in shape, you know?
So let's say you got a vote. It's 2028.
I'm voting for Gavin Newsom.
You're voting for Gavin Newsom.
You can't be that subhuman.
So hold on. You got, all right, well, this actually is of a thread with the whole conversation because you look at these two candidates. You have Gavin Newsom, worst governor in the country. I think we would all agree, destroyed his state, let its main city burn to the ground because of his incompetence, is a personal, complete derelict, liar, degenerate. But he is good looking. I'll grant you that he's good looking. Yep. And it kind of looks like Patrick Bateman, American Psycho. Hey. And then you have this vice president to President Trump, the transformative right-wing president in our lifetimes, who, do you support Trump or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got this vice president handpicked by Trump, who is extremely intelligent, very right wing. I think he's a pretty good looking guy. I don't know. Maybe I guess you disagree. But he's all these things, checks all these boxes, would have all these great policies. And regardless, you're going to pick the pro mass migrant, pro trans, pro murder the babies, pro burn the cities to the ground, pro BLM Democrat because he's skinnier than the conservative vice president.
100 times over.
All right, this clip is great, but not unexpected. I have to say, I am not shocked by this. Maybe a tiny bit shocked because we've been saying it for a long time. The only person capable of keeping together this coalition of ragtags and flat earthers and misfits and black pillars is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the only person, because the guy's logic does it. Donald Trump is fat as fuck. Donald Trump is 5 times fatter than J.D. Vance. He's like, do you support Donald Trump? Oh yeah, absolutely. J.D. Vance, no. It's just like, no one's going to be able to capture those folks. And I'm glad that, I guess I'm optimistically glad that it's not going to be held together very long. What do you think, John?
Is he the guy that did the hit and run?
I don't know about the hit and run, no.
Okay. There was okay. So this is the second thing I saw from this guy Clavicular, and I didn't even see this. I just saw that clip. I saw the headline and just scrolled past it. But I remember it's the second thing. And the first one was egregiously bad. The second one was this thing. So I am cautious to say this, but I love this fucking guy. This is a great.
I love this fucking guy.
So TJ, there's very few like pastimes I enjoy more than getting needlessly detailed in a meaningless argument and getting really fucking heated about it with my bros. It is the most fun thing. Like the other night, me and my best friend, we were like half watching a sporting event and we're just having hardcore pounding the table debates about what the best walkout entrance song to a UFC fight would be for us.
Boy.
And we were getting really fucking technical. We were going like it was the best. We do this about like you can do this about so many different things, and it's the most fun you'll ever have. And that's what this guy's doing. I can tell right now he understands the bit. You can tell his timing is excellent. When Michael Knowles was doing it, so you're telling me there's this thing, there's this thing, there's this thing. I was like, this guy's going to come out with an immediate 100%. As soon as Michael Knowles is going to stop talking, and he did it, and he nailed it. And I was just like, yes. Yeah, and he's just like, the head height. I don't even fucking know what he's talking about. I fucking love it because he's right. He's right, TJ.
He's right. He's right.
That's the thing. And Michael Knowles is like, how could you possibly? I'm like, Michael Knowles, how can you not possibly understand that he's right? He's 1,000% right. It can be that simple. And he makes it more complicated because it's fun to. But what he's saying is right. I'm sure he says horrible things, rage bait content.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't believe most of them right now. And he'll continue drinking the Kool-Aid. And as he loses influence, he'll blame other people and point it outwards or whatever. And it's going to be bad shit. But right now, that clip, I love that guy. He's a hoot. I would hang out with him all day. Michael Knowles, I hate that guy.
Who? Michael Knowles. Jesus.
You know,
that's, yeah.
All fucking night.
That's a tier list that we said we do sometime, like right wingers we would actually hang out with, like have a beer with or something. That'd be a great one because
we're putting that on the list.
Yeah, I would never hang out with them, but it's like if I have an hour and we're gonna chill out. Okay, all right, let's see how fun this could be. Yeah, Michael Knowles would be nowhere near. All right, this is another clavicular clip. Say that 5 times fast. But this guy, I saw this one. And I have to do a video on this, John. I want to get your impression here too, because all right, here we go. This is clavicular, and he's doing a live stream with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend accidentally drops her age, and so here we go.
All natural, and I'm
all natural.
So she whispered that, so I don't know if you guys heard it, but she said all natural and I'm 17. She kind of whispered it soft. So here we go. Let me do it here.
all natural, and I'm
all natural. Whoa. I'll leak.
All right, so I saw that, and this is a clip from last year, and my immediate thought was, well, yeah, I'm not surprised by this either, that a creep like this is dating a 17-year-old. That's not shocking. I could have called that, a mile away. However, it continues, and I got more shocking information. Okay, here we go.
Just get in the car right now, or I'm done. I'm on stream on W17, bro. Just $10. Bro, 17 is fine, dude. Get out of here. Get out of here, buddy. I'm 19. It's 2 years difference. She's turning fucking.
This dude is 19. John, I heard this. I was like, I would have bet anything that this guy wasn't a day younger than 26. I could not believe this. I was like, man, that is and I would have said he's a good looking guy, but man, that is a rough, it's hard to say. Like he looks way too old to actually just got out of high school or something like that. I was surprised.
Yeah, he was. You got to see this. I can't believe you haven't seen this. I'm sharing this now.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, doing clavicular today.
Clavicular content, yeah.
Love him. I'm loving. Okay, the clip I'm about to show.
Okay.
Stop loving him. I promise.
Oh, here we go.
But
here we go.
Like, I'm 19, bro. It's like. That's fine. There's no problem with a 19-year-old dating 17.
No, I was just surprised to find out he was 19. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's
like, he cares. Like I'm like, I respect this guy's game, and that is he's 19. He hasn't drank the Kool-Aid yet. That's why it's working. Check back when this guy is 26, and we'll see.
Yeah.
But this clip I'm about to show you, and by the way, Mark said, "Hey guys, vibes better today." Honestly, they kind of are, TJ. Because
the last 15 minutes or so, I think when we
even when we started, like we haven't gotten as heated as we were with Venezuela, and the news of today, like Mark, we already did it. Go back and fucking watch the show. I don't want to get into it with you, but like it's just like I actually find it. I'm past getting too upset about this because I'm just like, well, you're not arguing good faith if you disagree. If you agree with Trump on this, like you just are not arguing. There's no way I have to treat you like a human being whose opinion matters if you agree with the Trump line of reasoning on the shooting. But yeah, anyway, that has made my spirits much better. But here is, this is the first thing I saw about this guy. And then suddenly he's been all over the place on my fucking feed. Not all over the place, but I'd never seen him before. And here he is. So I'm just going to play this. Oh, what the hell? Stop.
What? What happened?
It won't let me. Oh, fuck, it sent a security code. Look.
Well, while John's working on that, I'll go. Colby wrote, I'm only pulling this up because of what Colby talked about here. TJ, did you know the guy who chiseled out that review about the low quality copper? Lame joke, Colby, lazy, low hanging fruit. But I am always here for any conversation about that interaction where a guy bought some low grade copper like 3,000 years ago and chiseled out a bad Yelp review, and people still see it today, like still taking sides on who was right, the guy who was selling the copper. Have you seen that, John?
I've heard of this.
Oh, it's great. There's so many memes for it. I'm in.
So okay. This is clavicular. This is like earlier this week, I feel. It wasn't that long ago. Here we go. I'm just gonna play it. Oh shit, no, this is the whole
New footage has surfaced of a well-known online personality, Clavicular, allegedly running down someone on a live stream.
He has a Cybertruck. You got to be kidding me.
And you hear something get hit. So it looks like the car ran over, and Clavicular looks like rather calm, almost unbothered.
I'm sorry, guys. This is terrible television. But he just runs over a dude with a car, and then just like deserves it. Like he just straight up. It's.
I hadn't heard about that. I am not surprised to see him driving a Cybertruck.
Here we go.
Start driving with this guy. Drive.
Oh. What? What?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Is he dead?
I don't know.
Hopefully. It takes all the effort in the. I want to run each and every one of them over.
No, John, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, no, that makes you not like him, right? That one's really fucking bad. Yeah, but that could be a stunt. That could be.
My mind immediately went to stunt because like he's too calm. He's too calm throughout that entire interaction.
But like in either case, it is actually fairly. If it isn't a stunt and he's able to be that calm and able to be that much of a fucking Patrick Bateman, pretty impressive to do that in a real life situation. Absolutely psychopathic, but pretty impressive nonetheless. To act, if it is a bit, to act that well for everyone involved, the camera work, everything, fucking wonderful. Like, but yeah, I don't think that was a bit. I think he was fucking high as shit and ran him over on purpose.
The cameraman reaction sounded weird. It sounded real. Like when she screamed, that sounded real. But that
she may not be in on the bit.
She may not be in on. See, John and I, we got it. We got the eye, man. We got the eye. We already tracking for all this. Because look, when you consume a lot of this stuff, you need it. The number one thing that you learn, like it annoys me when people are fooled by obviously staged shit. And the number one question you ask is, why is this being recorded? Because a lot of times you'll see something that's like, okay, yeah, this is funny, but this is odd that this is being recorded at all. Now, it makes sense in this context. He's a streamer. He's recording what he does. That doesn't seem strange. And it's just I don't know. I'm suspicious. On this. I mean, there would be a court case. Like the person's on camera, his family would see it, his friends would know this guy's going to jail. If he doesn't go to jail in the next week or so, all right, we'll know it was real. If it wasn't real, but yeah, I don't know. That's some fun shit. But I'm all in for that. I love it, John. I hadn't seen that, and I'm glad that you showed it to me. Since we're doing random clips here, we're just doing random clips. This is so much more fun than what we were doing earlier. Look, John and I are going to talk next. So,
my favorite.
Next week, John, I'd like to do the powwow and everything about stuff for the show. I'll be traveling next week. I'll be out of town all week, so I might not be able to do Thursday. But anyway, I can't remember what I want to talk about. I can't remember what I was going to say, but it was going to be about more fun stuff and everything. Okay, we're not going to have the opportunity to talk about Erica Kirk much more, but
so Kyle's saying that apparently it was real. The guy is a stalker and he'd been chasing him for years. Which if it's like an actual stalker that you are aware of and he's doing that, like Actually, no. I am pro hit him with the car.
I don't think you can do that legally though. Like I don't know if you can just do that.
You can.
Oh, you're right. I'm according to Ron DeSantis. But okay, all right. I want to get your once again immediate thoughts from this clip. This should be a segment too. Just immediate, like just devoid of everything. Just immediate thoughts after seeing this clip.
So I'm here to say welcome to the spiritual war. If you're not aware of it, put on the armor, stand your post. You're a woman of the word. And when you feel isolated or unseen, go back to that blueprint. Ruth, Deborah, Hannah, Esther, Mother Mary, any of them. Go back to the blueprint. Fix your eyes on Christ. Because this is not for the faint of hearts, this spiritual battle. And yes, these women that I talked about, they were in different times. They were in different cultures. They were, you can't really relate always to their context. But what you can relate to is that they said yes when they didn't see the full picture. They had no idea how history was going to write out their yes when they said yes to God, but heaven did. Heaven knew exactly what was going to happen. So I want you to take heart.
Okay, I have no idea where this is from, who she's talking to, or what she's talking about, honestly. But John, what is your immediate thoughts? See, this like first thing that comes to your mind. Let it rip. Let's hear it, John.
Why did Glinda the Good Witch? That was my immediate first thought.
You know what? I even tried to set it up by playing the clip. It's like, oh, maybe he'll say something about what she says, but it looks like she didn't say anything. So I guess I kind of like, it's just like, what the? I saw this. I say, this reminds me of like the Hunger Games lady, right? Like what?
That post her husband's death.
I don't know. I want to say yes, but I'm not sure because like I've never seen her talk at all before he died. So
That's true.
What is going on here? Erica Kirk, I love the memes that are going around with Erica Kirk where people are saying that everyone grieves the way they want. And then it shows like Cirque du Soleil performers. Like, here's Erica Kirk grieving her husband's death. I don't believe for a second that she had anything to do with the Charlie Kirk's assassination. I don't buy into that conspiracy theory. But holy shit, is this weird, man? It's not, you're not doing yourself any favors, right? After doing something like this.
Bro, I like on a fully serious note, like how you were saying, this is we're so off the rails right now. You know how you were saying Julius looked at Octavian, he's just like, yeah, you got it. Erica, she don't got it.
She don't got it, man.
I got it. Like I cannot, I feel bad for the lady. I genuinely feel like she's trying her darndest. And honestly, I feel like she like just like nuts and bolts. Like there's nothing about it. I'm like critique. You just don't have it. You just don't have. She doesn't.
You just don't have it. She don't have
it. You're not made for it. You don't got the juice. I'm sorry.
No, we see people in this game all the time, and very quick when someone has it. You even know when someone has like a sprinkle of it, and it's like
they're a potential. They're a development project, but they could get there. Like particular. Like I was like, this guy's got potential. He has it. I don't know how far it will take him. He hasn't reached the potential yet, but that kid 19, he can get there. Yeah. Erica Kirk ain't got it. I'm sorry.
It's just, I don't know, like
he's a double player at best.
Right. Like, I mean, even like Jesus Christ, like even to get to like where we are, you need a significant amount of it, okay? To get like a couple 100,000 people following you, that takes
at least a little bit of it.
You need it. And Erica Kirk, yes, if I saw a content creator, if someone came to me and was like, "Hey, man, I'm looking at content creation," and it was like, that's like, buddy, just hang it up. Like, you must have other talent somewhere. Like, it's like when Don fired his secretary. We're gonna reference Mad Men every segment. If we're going on here, the rest of the year, we're gonna do one Mad Men reference.
It's just preview to our eventual Mad Men Left Wing Film Club.
When Don fired his secretary, he says, "Listen, you're not good at this job. That's not an insult. That's just the way it is." That's how you got to address Erica Kirk here. And also, someone told a joke about this. I wish that I had written, but it said that Charlie Kirk always talked about how women have no use on the outside. They should stay at home and they shouldn't get involved. I'm not saying I agree with him, but after seeing his wife, I understand why he thought that. Like, why that's where his mind went. Because, oh yeah, I wouldn't trust her with anything. Jesus Christ! And you can't be saying that. Oh, you got to leave her alone and say that she can't. You can't criticize her. And well, she won't shut up. Like she's always when you put yourself out in the public like that, you open yourself for criticism. That's how this game works. But yikes, it's kind of painful watching her out there.
I mean, if it couldn't happen to a worse lady.
Couldn't.
That's. Kyle says, conservative women really make me misogynistic. Every time I see Erica Kirk, I just think, shut the fuck up. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say misogynistic.
That's not misogynistic. That's what she should do. That's good advice. That's what it is.
Well, yeah. But I kind of get there's a specific thing about conservative women where some of the animus is directed towards their gender. And I think it's kind of like a traitor thing, where it's like, really? The uncle, not the Uncle Sam, the Uncle Tom's of it, where it's like, really, you're gonna dress up like she does the whole bit. She does the whole bit and she knows what she's doing. And there's a little bit extra disgust because of her gender. And is that fair? I don't know, but it's true.
And especially the conservative women who you're just 1,000,000% convinced are doing this for the bit and everything. Like Erica Kirk would be out there saying, oh, make sure you guard your heart and don't be a whore and everything like that. When she was dressing like this, like for pageants for Donald Trump and everything like that, I don't think Charlie Kirk would approve of this. Charlie Kirk also hypocritical as well. He always tells guys, go out there and find yourself a 20-year-old virgin for a wife or something like that. He married this woman who was several years older than him. Did she? I don't think she had any kids, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's the inauthenticity of it is what really bothers. That's like with watching black conservatives doesn't, shouldn't make you racist, but it does make you feel like, okay, this person's a traitor. Like John said, this is something that someone who's not true to themselves usually.
And we have a new commenter here, TJ. Lucas Ward.
Lucas is great.
So I've been liking this. I've seen two comments so far. The first was, no, the ice guy should not have opened fire, in my opinion. Lucas, fucking love it. Lucas, you're correct. You should not have opened fire. Even if you're a conservative, I can have a conversation with you about this incident. But if you're going to say, yeah, no, especially when you say the second two shots, absolutely insane. And then he says, I don't have any issues with him or her because I don't know him, nor do I know her. Lucas, that is such a great comment. It brought me joy to see that comment. I don't know what entertainment value you're getting from this specific political commentary show if your worldview is, I'm not going to judge people who I don't know. But I fucking love it. I love the innocence of that concept. I'm not going to judge someone if I don't know them.
That's a weird thing to say, man. That's a weird thing to say.
I actually think it's a very healthy way to live. TJ.
No, it's not.
I think I would be way healthier. My mental health would be in a better place. I'd be a better husband, friend, family member if I did that. Would we live in a better society if everyone did that? No. But I do think it's I respect people who are actually able to live that way. I don't respect people who say that and don't do it. But the people who say that and stick with their guns, I respect it.
I think they're lying. And there's we judge books.
I'm too much of an asshole to ever believe anyone isn't.
No, I'm being honest here. We judge books by their cover on a daily basis. It's how you survive. You know who doesn't judge people unless they know them? Golden retrievers. That's the level you're working at. It's oh, who's this nice person? Or I'm sure that they're A-okay and just peachy. It's absurd.
The obvious counter argument here is, Lucas, you ever met Hitler? There's got to be a line. Someone before you meet them.
Hey, I got a babysitter. She wants to watch your kids. Her name's Casey Anthony. You think? Well, I've heard a lot about her, but I've never met the lady. I'm sure it's insane. That's not how actual people. I don't know. Lucas. I just complimented Lucas. He had some great comments with her, but that one, nah, come on, man, I don't buy it.
Lucas, we like you. Please come back. We stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30. Colby says, oh, before I forget, if TJ was an active Threads user, he'd be the second coolest black guy on there.
Wait a minute.
Colby, I want to know who the first
who is it John? Are we John is actually Drake? Is that what we're going with here? Is that the actual thing? I don't know. I don't know.
Research. Lucas.
Do you legitimately don't know who Charlie Kirk is? I mean, if that's the case, then okay, I take it back.
Lucas, I really want to know. I want to be very clear. We're not picking on you. I am just so curious. If you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, how did you get to this live stream?
And that's what I was like, yeah.
What
This is-
made you click on this live stream right now?
It was our Julius Caesar talk. That's what brought him here. He's a big ancient history guy who stumbled into our Caesar. Oh, I love more of this stuff. Who's this Charlie Crick? Like who's this guy they're talking about? I'm not sure. And all right, Don Cheadle is who Colby said. Look, I've never much cared for Don Cheadle. I gotta say, I don't understand why Don Cheadle is like regarded as the caliber of actor that he is. Hotel Rwanda was a big hit and everything, or critically acclaimed and stuff. Ever since then, I'm like, oh, you know what it is? I always see Don Cheadle, right? It doesn't matter what character he's playing. I can't imagine. It's like, oh, that's Don Cheadle. I can't. He doesn't like Denzel Washington when he's playing somebody. I'm in. I'm like, okay, that's not Denzel. That's this guy. Don Cheadle is always Don Cheadle to me. I have a hard time believing he's the coolest guy on Threads.
Oh, I'm just so gotta come out. I just gotta. Lucas, while you're here, Lucas says, I have heard about him. I was scrolling through lives and just stopped laughing out loud. Lucas, I'm happy.
I love this guy. I love this guy.
Especially Lucas. Come to our Tuesday shows at 6:30, and we will answer anything you want to know about anything in the political commentary sphere. Let us be your news source. We'll teach you anything you want. This is like I was my friend is a ex not Amish Methodist but Amish. Like that kind of community. She left the community, and talking to her is always so much fun because it's like talking to a 5-year-old. Not that she is a 5-year-old, not that she's immature, but she hasn't watched any movies, she doesn't know any music, she doesn't know any TV shows, and you know me, I make references all the time, and I'll be like, hey, yeah, so like in Elf, and she's like, what's Elf? Like,
oh boy,
God, she just watched Elf this year. It was wonderful. But like that's what I feel like talking to Lucas, where it's like Charlie Kirk. I don't know. We're gonna have to look into him. And I'm just like, that's not what I'm used to from our comments.
No, Lucas.
Not what I'm used to at all.
Lucas is a-okay with me. Lucas, in fact, John and I would like to extend an offer to buy you a dinner, the menu item of your choosing at Scott's Burgers in Bixby, Oklahoma. Anytime you happen to be in the area, like if you're there right now, John and I will catch a flight. We will take you out and have a great time. Like Lucas is he's a good guy to me. All right, let's
wait. I got Don Cheadle. I just have to say,
oh yeah,
Capado. Don Cheadle is when you can't cast Denzel Washington. Don Cheadle. There's nothing about him. Like everything he's in, I'm like, I can think of a better actor for this role. Okay. Everything he's in, like whether it be a black token character or not, like it's usually another actor. I'm like, I'd rather that guy be in the role.
I never really had strong opinions on Don Cheadle because why the fuck would I? Until Iron Man 2, because in Iron Man 1, Terrence Howard played Rhodey, and yep. Yeah, and I said, okay, all right, I can see this guy being War Machine. And then there's a contract dispute between Terrence Howard and Marvel and everything, and Terrence Howard drops out, and they replace him with Don fucking Cheadle. And I was like, that's an odd choice. First off, they look nothing alike. Like they look nothing. Well, they got one thing in common, TJ. They have one thing in common. What that is, it's like they couldn't have found someone who looked less. And he doesn't look like a superhero. He doesn't look like he's a scrawny, skinny dude and kind of nerdy and shit. And like he doesn't sound like it. And it's like that's just. And then every Marvel movie from then on out, I gotta watch Don. She was like, I would much rather have Terrence Howard here. And that is like risen the beef on it. And now when I see him in other properties, I'm like, oh God, I just don't. I've never been. He's a good actor, I guess.
I mean, not bad.
Yeah, it's just that.
Like Don Cheadle sucks. It's just
he just annoys me.
Except for Hotel Rwanda, he's got the one thing he's great in, and other than that, he's just a replacement level player all the way.
Yeah, through. Jesus Christ.
Lucas says he spends his time programming video games. So yeah, we talk about video games too, Lucas. Let us know if you have any political takes on video games. Let us know. Specifically, I don't give a shit about if a video game is a gay character. If you're going to go there, I don't really care about that. But we do something called Left Wing Film Club, and we've yet to do a video game, mostly because they're long and difficult for both of us to do at the same time. But we should one day.
We should. We should. Like I want to do one on the Red Dead Redemption series, but John refuses to finish Red Dead Redemption 2, so the story would be half finished, and we couldn't. I don't know. He just won't do it. I don't know. It's fine.
Oh God, what else do we got here before we wrap up, TJ?
Not much. Kobe says fine. TJ would be the coolest black guy on Threads. I don't know why I'm limited to the black people on Threads. But whatever. I don't know. I might. Who knows?
Can't swim in the big leagues.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm in the Threads Negro leagues. I am crushing it in the Negro leagues and Threads. And so yeah, the Boston Grays over here. So all right. That's it. What do we got for him, John? This is a weird one. We're closing out without a guest.
All right,
so.
weird one. For anyone who watched this, listen to this. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
This was me and TJ at our most me and TJ. I feel
Yeah.
like. We will have more. We're as we've mentioned a couple times. We're doing a production meeting. We're gonna come out like at some point in January and just have a whole new fucking show here, and we're gonna commit to it. And we won't have an episode like this for at least 1 month after that. So appreciate this. Well,
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. This episode is brought to you by Lucas, who says, "You're a couple of good fellas. Keep up the good work." We you know what? Glad to have you on board, Lucas.
Love
We
this guy.
love it.
Absolutely
Love it.
this guy.
Yeah. Good, wholesome shit. All right. We'll catch you guys later. We'll be back Tuesday, Lucas, and we'll see you guys then. Have a good one. Oh.